the freedom. And first and foremost, I just want to go ahead and congratulate each and every single one of you for going ahead and following along over these past 4 days inside of this masterclass. This is actually the very first time that we ever come up with the freedom formula for each and every single one of you. And I want each and every single one of you guys to go ahead and know that we not only appreciate you, but we hope that at this point you have pretty much received some value. I know that I'm recording this session, but for the sake of the people that are actually inside of the live right here within the Zoom chat, go ahead and drop a one if you went ahead and learned something over the past 3 days where you guys had in-depth information, when it comes down to trading fundamentals. I mean, God, for God's sake, you guys go ahead and start it off. You guys started off with Miguel that went ahead and broke down risk and reward, which is actually one of my biggest clicking moments about 6 years ago. Whenever I started inside of this industry, I was like, huh. So I'm able to risk $1 to go ahead and make 10. I think at that point, I went ahead and shifted my way of how I looked at money. And I started looking at money as the tool as it is supposed to be. How many of us, whenever you're used to working for somebody like a 9 to 5 or something like that, drop a one in the chat if you look at money as exchange of time. Like as in whenever you went to the store, or you go to the store, you shop for a shoe. Yeah, it's the shoes like let's just say 150 bucks, 200 bucks. You look at it like, damn, that's a day's worth of work. Many of you look at money like that. And in fact, me 6 years ago, before I got introduced to the trading industry, I mean, that's how I looked at money. I looked at it like that. When I looked at something, I looked at it for how many hours I had to go ahead and work, how many hours I had to suffer, how many hours I had to deal with my supervisor in order for me to go ahead and make that money. But whenever you jump inside the trading industry, in fact, the first day here, you went ahead and learned that that's not the only way on how you can make money. But you understood that trading is not for making money, but it's made for multiplying it. Then day two and day three, you guys got a whole 2 days worth of just value when it comes down to cryptocurrency and investing, which is very valuable because you guys are now caught up with the new wave, the new economy, exactly what each and every single one of you have to go ahead and do in order to take advantage of the opportunities that are in front of you. I mean, how many times have we seen Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies online, but like many people just don't get invested into it and missed out. And I always say there's a thing called opportunity cost. So meaning that there's a cost for not taking a certain opportunity. And before this, you have been paying that price over and over and over again. You had seen people over and over again going ahead and making the type of returns that you've wanted to make that possibly, hey, if you went ahead and invested early, like maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, how many of you drop a two inside the chat if you would have just been in a different situation right now? Maybe financially, or maybe that could have probably helped you out. Maybe get out of your job, not going from full time now to part time. Maybe that could have helped you towards putting a down payment into a house. Maybe it could have been like some of our students that went ahead and bought some, their car of their dreams with it and stuff like that, or went ahead and funded that vacation that they went ahead and wanted and stuff like that. See, that's positioning inside of the market, and that's what you went ahead and learned is timing and positioning and how that's all important when it comes down to cryptocurrencies and understanding the foundation behind it. Because I feel like there's a lot of misinformation, but a lot of you could say information overload online, where a lot of people are just confused on really where to go ahead and start. And each and every single one of you, by now, you should know the foundation when it comes down to everything. Now it's time to go ahead and tie this together and go ahead and formulate and go ahead and create a blueprint for each and every single one of you so that way you guys can go ahead and exit off of today's call and know exactly what it is that you guys have to do. So again, my goal at the end of this call is that you're going to know exactly what you got to go ahead and do in order to take this to the next level. I want you to go ahead and look at these past 3 days inside of the masterclass, as if you had 3 days with the fitness trainer and it was your first time getting into fitness. How many of us, whenever you jumped into the gym, you probably didn't jump in with the trainer? You just showed up to the gym and you looked all confused. You said, I don't know what this machine is or what it's for. That was me, right? But what's the trainer there for? He's going to go ahead and be there to go ahead and save you time, energy, and money. And that's exactly what my goal here today is, to go ahead and help you save time, energy, and money, so that that way you can go ahead and receive the results that you want to go ahead and want, and you want to go ahead and receive here in the next 6 months, here in the next year. Because again, we're already entering Q4. We're less than 4 months away from the end of the year. So, time's crunching up. We got to go ahead and get to our objective. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And then towards the end, I'm going to go ahead and present you guys to a very valuable speaker, somebody that went ahead and impacted my journey when it comes down to cryptocurrency and investing, right? So whenever you guys go ahead and start, right, the very first thing that each and every single one of you guys are going to go ahead and have is we're going to give you guys a weekly schedule full of calls, so that that way you guys can hop on side of these calls. And maybe even if the amount of these calls that we have, maybe if any of them just don't work for you inside of your schedule, right, all of these sessions that we have are recorded. So for a lot of you that jumped on inside of our masterclass and you absolutely loved it, I just want you guys to know is that that was only an open session that we went ahead and created. Look at the amount of sessions that we go ahead and create. Our goal here is to go ahead and dominate here within the trading industry, not just with CFDs, not just with futures, but also with options trading, also with cryptocurrency, also with stocks, and many of you in here have different various amounts of experience. In fact, I went ahead and looked at the survey that you guys filled out, and the majority of you are under a year in within the markets. So what's so dope about each and every single one of you that are under a year in, and even for those of you that are under maybe 3 years in, 4 years in, 5 years in, regardless of your experience level, again, regardless of your experience level, we're going to have something made for you. But what I went ahead and created for each and every single one of you here is I went ahead and created a blueprint. So a blueprint, a guide path where I compressed my first year in the markets. And I just want each and every single one of you guys to go ahead and know that my first year wasn't so good in the markets. But just because it wasn't so good for me doesn't mean that it has to be the same for you. You see, for me, what I went ahead and did is I said I went through a lot of lessons my first year, right? But now, if I can speed up the process for each and every single one of you, well, how many of you would want to go ahead and take advantage? All of you. So, what I went ahead and did is I compressed my first year, everything that it took for me to learn in 1 year, in just a matter of 3 months. And what's so amazing is that the majority of our students, they actually finished this whole entire 90-day blueprint in less than 3 months. You see, we work at your pace. So your first 30 days, as you guys see, we have everything listed right here. So you guys got the basis and the foundation. Your first 30 days is actually terminology. I want each and every single one of you guys to think about it like maybe your profession. I went ahead and onboarded a lawyer not too long ago, and I was like, well, it's kind of like, being a lawyer, and it's kind of just like being everything. You don't want to just jump into your first lawsuit without knowing the terminology, right? You don't want to go to court without knowing the terminology. So first, it's knowing the terminology. So your first 30 days, that's exactly what you're going to go ahead and receive. In each and every single one of these are hyperlinks. So these guide you straight into another website or into another video. And all this, the majority of our students actually finish it within 2 weeks. But the dope thing about this is that each and every single one of you are able to work at this at your own pace. Because I know that there's many of you, maybe you're like one of our students that went ahead and onboarded a month ago. She's a single mom, she's a hustler, she works 80 hours a week. And oh my God, like I have so much respect for women like that, because those women are the ones that run the world. And the this woman that I went ahead and helped, she works 80 hours a week. She doesn't really have time. But you see, when I started helping her, I was like, we're gonna work at your pace. So maybe it took her a full month to go ahead and complete this, right? And maybe it took one of my students that, does this more full time. It took them maybe 5 days to go ahead and complete this, right? But regardless, at the end of the day, the finish line is the same. Then on the 60 days, what each and every single one of you guys are going to go ahead and learn is getting a live account, right? So what's so dope is that a lot of you, whenever you start, you're not going to start off with live money. And I know many of you probably inside of this call, whenever you were listening to maybe the first day, the second day, or the third day, you were like, I understand. I'm kind of understanding this, but I just don't want to jump in and risk my money. How many of you are like that? I was like that. I was like, yo, like I don't want to jump in and not know what I'm doing and risk real money. So what's so dope is that your first 30 days, you get started off with a paper trading account, right? So that way you can go ahead and make the mistakes there. And then on your 60 days, this is where we can go ahead and help you start a live account and also into funded accounts. What's so dope about funded accounts is that there is firms out there that will fund you, meaning that they will lend you money simply because you know the skill set of trading. Did many of you even know that? No. I mean, in fact, I do want to go ahead and share something with each and every single one of you. Actually, just this week, literally, I can scroll up to this. Just this week, we broke through a $13 million in student funding alone. So I say that because this blueprint that I'm showing you guys works. The education here works, right? Because again, I never come in here and I try to differentiate myself from other people. And I always end up saying, like, these are the results that we went ahead and created from the students. Not these are the results that have happened to me and these are the results that happen to this educator. Because at the end of the day, our results, how does that help you? How many of you go on Instagram or you go online and you see these people flexing their results? But again, how does their results help you? Do they know how to go ahead and help you do the same? And the answer to that question is yes, we can go ahead and do that. So within your 60 days, you're going to learn that. And then we're going to go ahead and get you into technical analysis. And then on the 90th day, this is where you get into portfolio building. This is where you get into trading management. This is where you get into advanced fundamentals. So what's so dope and why I say each and every single, why I say all of this right here is that whenever you start off right here, but then you're going to go ahead and go into advanced level curriculums, right? And you're also going to have something to go ahead and journal all your trades on throughout the time, So what we went ahead and did is not only go ahead and provide you the education that you go ahead and need, but we want to give you and provide you with all the tools and the resources that we never had. I've been doing this for the past 6 years, guys, full time for the past five. But if I had what you guys have now, wow, I would have just gotten to my results much more quicker. So that's what we provide you. We provide you with all of the tools and the resources. So that way you don't have to outsource. Because how many of you before this, you probably hopped on a YouTube. In fact, I actually went ahead and invited a couple guests inside of this call here today, and they can probably relate to this. But one of them in particularly was telling me, Junior, I've been trying to learn off YouTube for the past 2 years. And every time that I look at the videos, I just end up more and more confused. Why? Because you're always getting outsourced. You're only going to get so much out of that, right? But when it's personalized towards you, when you have everything you need inside of one single place, that's where everything shifts, right? And what's dope, what I always say is, hey, if we're winning, why can't you win too? Again, if we're winning, why can't you win too? So we believe in that, guys. We strongly believe in that. So because of that, while you're learning, because again, it's gonna take time. I'm not gonna come in here and tell you like, hey guys, it's just gonna take a month. It's gonna take 2 months. I want each and every single one of you guys to know is that everybody has a different learning path. So meaning that for some of you, maybe it's gonna take a little bit longer because you don't have that much time. But that's okay, right? Because you're gonna get there still. That I was like that. I didn't have that much time when I was coming in. I was working 80, 90-hour weeks and I was a full-time college student. But hey, I made this happen, you know? Because at the end of the day, what matters is getting to the finish line, not in how much time, but actually making it happen. And what's so amazing about this is that it's not when and it's not if, it's going to happen, because you have provided the blueprint. So what we believe in is while you're learning, you're able to potentially earn with us by simply just copying the same plays that we have. So in fact, even here, for example, we had an educator right here that went ahead and told you, hey, go ahead and sell here. So we will go ahead and send you the ideas of where exactly you need to sell at, where exactly your invalidation level is at, so that way you don't risk more than you're supposed to. And we give you three take profit targets. And what's honestly the best thing that you could possibly have. In fact, I had a student 2 weeks ago. This is somebody that I've been coaching for the past 4 years. Again, 4 years. This is a 4-year student. This is somebody that is a consistently profitable trader, you know? And I want to share this. This is the one of the last things I want to go ahead and share with you guys. He um he had this these past 6 months where he had a consistent winning streak. Consistent winning streak. And sometimes when people have consistent winning streaks, and I think many of you can relate to this, maybe if it's in sports or any other thing, you start to grow a little bit of an ego, right? You're like, oh, like I know it all. But guys, you know what's the common thing between all the greats is that the greats in life, they're all still learning from other people that are greater than them, right? Continual education is everything. And that's what we believe in. We believe that no matter how much experience you guys have, you're always going to need continual education. This is somebody, and again, the student that I'm talking about, this is a person that has already cleared 6 figures. He's already cleared 6 figures. He actually has went ahead and done a lot of the stuff that many of you are probably reaching for. But then his results halted because then he was just like, yo, like I haven't been developing myself, right? And this is where this comes into play. So that's why we have professional educators and all these educators right here. These are veterans. These are 10-year plus veterans inside of the game that are going to be coaching you guys. And as you go ahead and see, they all have a schedule right here that you can go ahead and get into, right? And again, if this maybe doesn't work for you and your schedule, what's amazing is that all of these sessions are recorded, but I wanted each and every single one of you guys to go ahead and know this, and especially for those of you that went ahead and learned over the past couple of days as well when it comes down to portfolio building. And one of the lessons that I'll tell each and every single one of you is that trading and investing isn't a a want. You see, whenever I started 6 years ago, I thought that this was just a desire. This isn't a necessity. And as I grew to learn, and as many of you have learned at this point as well, is that it's a necessity. You need to go ahead and learn how to multiply your money. Why? Because your money is depreciating each and every single year. So, and as you guys learned on the first day, is that regardless if you decide to actually take this trading thing seriously or not, the money that you have in the bank that you're working so damn hard for, I remember whenever I used to work construction, guys, I used to put overalls on. I used to put overalls on to work construction. And my first mentor told me, Junior, you're working so hard for your money. You're putting overalls on and everything. You're working so hard for your money. You're busting your behind. But the moment that you clock out, your money clocks out with you. See, the difference between somebody that's wealthy and somebody that's not is that their money never clocks out. Your money's a tool, right? It's just that many people aren't taught or aren't educated on how to go ahead and use it. Why? Because unfortunately, for many people, well, they don't have access to that education. Fortunately enough for each and every single one of you guys, is that that's what you guys are learning here today. And that's what each and every single one of you guys are going to go ahead and be able to go ahead and take advantage of after this call, But that's not it, I didn't want to just end it off like that. So what I went ahead and did is I brought somebody else on board to go ahead and break down the second half. Now, before I bring up this person, I hope that each and every single one of you at this point, maybe you have taken notes, over what is exactly the details that you got to go ahead and do right after this. But if you didn't take notes, I implore each and every single one of you guys to go ahead and take a notebook out, because this is somebody that's not just great at what he does, but has created great people. I always say it's a skill set to go ahead and be able to go ahead and create those results for yourself. But it's another different thing to go ahead and duplicate that not only once, not 10 times, not 100 times, but tens of thousands of times over and over again, guys. Mike Sotero, this is somebody that I've been knowing now for the past 5 years, right? And what he's going to help each and every single one of you guys do, and just to fill you guys in, he has been a direct factor to a lot of the success that I've been going ahead and reach. So what does that mean for each and every single one of you is if you listen to him and if you actually apply what he's going to go ahead and tell you guys, then you can get the same thing too. So Mike Sotero, go ahead and take it away, brother.
Let's go. How is everybody doing? In the chat, would love to know where you guys are tuning in from. Right now, we are working on our third scanner. So give me 1 second here. We are literally been creating products and tools for people all around the world. And right now we are about to get something really cool out there. But look, about 13 years ago, I got into entrepreneurship. I got into business. One second. And he has a question. Oh, you guys are going to be so excited when you see this. But anyways, let me put this all together. 13 years ago, I got into business, into entrepreneurship. I was actually in high school, and no matter where you're at in the world, right? You know, Ohio, California, Reno, Nevada. I'm from South Florida. I'm from Miami. My family's Cuban, and my entire life, I was taught like a similar system, a system that probably all of us we've been taught to school, get good grades, that system, right? But that system no longer works. And when I was 18, okay, in 2013, I was given this book. I was given the PDF form of this book. And in this book, Robert Kiyosaki talks about how jobs for people overseas are going to come to certain countries and they're just going to take your job, how technology is going to be advanced and people are going to lose their job. And, it really didn't make a lot of sense until it makes a lot of sense. It's not a thing that affects your life until it affects your life in whatever way, shape, or form, right? And the business of the 21st century is here, where you could work from your phone, you can work from your computer, you can work from home, or you can work in an office, or you can work from anywhere. You can work from an airplane because of Wi-Fi. I've done meetings on planes and meetings on cruise ships because there's Wi-Fi, right? Put a one in the chat if you like to travel, if you like to, experience new things. And here's what's cool about what Junior showed you, all the value you got this week. It's possible for you. Now, I'm not here to scare you, but I'm here to really prepare and really make you aware of something. Today, okay, unemployment in the United States is going up. Today it went up again. And I know there's people on this call. You have kids, you have a job, you have a husband, or you have a wife, and they rely on you. And I do not wish this upon anybody. But I spoke to a friend on the phone. This is crazy because I had an issue with my car today. And I reached out to a friend that I thought was still working at the place that I needed help with my car. And he's like, nah, man, I got laid off 3 months ago. And this is a major company in the United States. And they laid him off and this entire division. And this is a serious thing. So when we talk about Zinrai and when Junior's showing you the educators and the different tools like Zinrai Q, where you have the ability to learn and then apply things, we're not sharing this with you, honestly, to even make money. Because I don't have to do this company. I don't have to be on this call. Junior doesn't have to be here. All the speakers you heard this week, they don't have to do it. But at this point, to me, it's an obligation. Okay. I hit financial independence a very long time ago, way before I was 27 years old. And what motivates Mike Sotero or motivates me today is how can we help the newest person on this call start from nothing and start to grow? One of the cool things about our company is we have a brand new app. You can download the app right now in the App Store. I want you to go to the App Store literally right now, and I want you to go type in this app right here called Zinrai. Okay, go to the App Store. I'm going to do it on the desktop. Go type in Zinrai on your App Store and scroll down. And this one right here, oh, now you want to be shot. I think it's because I have it on here. But there's an app called Zinrai Ideas on your phone. I might already have it already downloaded, so that's why it's not popping up there. And this app, we send you ideas. Let me give you an example, okay? There's two types of ideas. You've probably heard this or learned this week. But what I specialize in, what I've done, and how I've helped 250,000 people in the past 5 years is I basically tell people, hey, these are the cryptos that I'm looking at that I might be investing in, and you should take a look at them. So, for example, I'll give you a recent one here. 11 days ago, okay, this was last week of August, I sent out this idea on this crypto called PYTH. Okay, this was the chart. Our students bought this. I believe it was literally August 25th or August 26th at 11 cents. 2 days later, an announcement happens, whatever. And and this crypto goes from 11 cents to 24 cents in 2 days. Now, I'm not telling you that's how everything is going to be, but in 2 days, our students that were plugged in, that had a community, here's what's cool is all they had to do was follow directions. And this community is not, 1997 or 997 to get started or a month. People learn here for literally it's like $5 to $6 a day. I had a friend that I got started. He's a customer. He put in $1,000 when the alert was sent out. He took profit at 24 cents and he doubled his money in 2 days. I'm not telling you once again that's going to happen every single time or if that's going to even happen. But the world is changing. And if you have a job on this call, that's great. You're blessed. But this number, okay, remember, it doesn't affect you until it affects you. Everything's okay and until something happens. And what I would tell every person on this call, wherever you're at in the world, and I heard Junior mention is to get prepared, right? To learn some skills on the side. Okay. Put a 2 in the chat if you've heard about AI. This company, you're probably, your chips for your computer or your TV or your phone all come from this company. This is called NVIDIA. It's real simple. This chart is going straight up, which means AI, the higher this chart goes, the more people are about to lose their jobs. And it's a scary time for some if you look at it that way. I looked at it in 2017 when I got into crypto and trading, like, what's the worst thing that can happen? I lose some money? Just, I can make it back in other places. The best thing that could happen is my whole situation changes. So tonight, in closing this call, understand that tonight is not about Junior or Mike or whoever invited you. Tonight was about you getting some information. You got some information the entire week. And here's just the truth. You got a lot of free stuff that you should have paid for and you got it for free. And if you can't invest $5, $6 a day into you, but you'll do it for other brands, other companies, for your coffee every single day that doesn't pay you, then there's some things that I would really just not even to question you as a person, but just some priorities you got to look at. 2016, my life, like all of us, challenging time. How many of y'all have ever had a challenging time financially? It sucks. Not being able to take mom and dad to dinner or take your kids on the vacation they want, it sucks. Let's just keep it real and honest. It's not a good feeling inside when you know that you're called for more. Trading and all this stuff is just a vehicle. It's a way to multiply what you have, to learn some new skills, and there's multiple ways to make money if you choose to in this company. And we have great people like the Gills, like Teresa on the call, like Junior, like Miguel, like so many amazing people, like John Luke. But the question is, are you qualified to be a part of the team? Are you qualified to? I think you are because you're here, especially if you've been here all week, but you have to answer that. And at this current moment, there's a couple types of people. Number one is you're not interested. Now, I don't think you would be on this call on a Friday night at 8:30 p.m. EST. I'm in Miami, or 7:30 if you're in Texas, if you weren't interested. So I don't think you're that type of person. Maybe I'm wrong. And if you're not interested, God bless you. We hope you excel in everything you do in your life. But the second type of person is you see you see the bigger picture, you see the importance of learning. And tonight, if you're a type 2 person, I want you to message the person that invited you to tonight's call and say, hey, look, I'm ready to get started. Save me a spot and send me the link. Tonight, they're going to onboard you. They're going to help you get started. And by Monday, you're going to have some clarity because you're going to go through a couple of the courses in the back office. See, all the ready to apply information is in the back office. This week, you got a bunch of free value, but now we got to put it to work. So that's a type 2 person. And a type 3 person is, hey, you're going to get started here tonight. You also have some people in mind that would also like to learn, or some people in mind that, you feel like this could help your aunt, this could help your mom, this could help your dad. I prejudged my dad. Okay. I got into trading in 2017. In March of 2018, after I had a decent amount of money saved up, my dad found out and he said, I'm ready to learn. 2018. In 2021, he had his biggest year yet. He's a retired police officer. He has a monthly pension and all that stuff. He teaches online at a school called Grand Canyon University in Arizona. He's a PhD. But I showed him trading a year and a half after, and he's done very well. Okay. He's done very well in the futures market, in the stock market. And people think he got me involved, but I got him involved. And he's built something super, super powerful that's changed our entire family trajectory. And I don't know if that'll happen for you, but I do know this. If you do nothing with this information, I know where you'll be at in 12 months. Hopefully in a better place, but I know what you'll miss out on. And that's a terrible feeling because the last thing I'll say is this is I want you to take out your phone and I want you to take a screenshot of the prices of crypto right here. I want your iPhone, or hopefully you don't have an Android, but if you have an Android, sorry to hear that, but I want you to take a picture. I'm just kidding. Just a joke. But I want you to take a picture of all the prices on the chart because in 1 year, in 2 years, in 5 years, I don't want you to say to the person that invited you on tonight's call, hey, they didn't try to put me on. I tried to put some of my friends on when Bitcoin was $4,000 and they said, oh, it's a scam, too good to be true. Well, now they're calling asking for, oh, when is it going to go to 1 million? Because I'm buying in now. And it's going to go to 1 million. It's just a matter of well, how much will you have? Take a quick picture. And then last but not least, get back to the person that invited you. Okay. They have a link for you to get registered. We're going to take on maybe two, three new students here tonight. You'll have access to the platform immediately tonight. So maybe instead of going out and drinking with your friends, if you do that, be safe, take an Uber. But maybe you watch a couple videos and you do something for your future. I'm so grateful I did that when I was 18. I'm so grateful that I had a friend that said, hey, Mike, you're not going in the right direction. You're headed to a place called nowhere really fast in 2017. And I just got redirected. And sometimes in life, a little bit of a redirection. You're not a bad person or anything like that, but just a little bit of a redirection could change everything. And I think tonight, this week, you got enough information for that redirection. And I know where I'm going. I know where the people on tonight's call that are going, that are already a part of the team, that are part of Powerhouse, that are part of Zinrai. We have a convention in the Bahamas. Okay, a lot of us are going to be in Nassau, Bahamas for our company event. Most companies don't do their convention in Atlantis, in paradise. We have a company event in 5, 6 weeks. So we take this seriously. And if you're serious, look, we can help you get results. Junior, I will pass it back to you, or maybe not. And you guys get back to the person that invited you, get plugged in, and we'll see you guys on the Zinrai Lives this weekend. And God bless you guys. See ya.